Welcome to Spotlight New England. I'm one of your hosts, Audra McClelland.
And I'm Ashley Erling, and we are here at
We're
week
here.
two.
Week two. It's exciting. Last week was a big week for us.
I was going to say, we won't do the countdown every single week, but it still seems like a big deal right now.
I am so excited. And, a lot of people that have been tuning in have just been enjoying it.
Yeah.
Learning a lot of stuff, meeting new people, which I think is the best to hear.
Yeah.
And just having fun with it.
Yeah, it's been really fun for us so far. So we're excited to keep it going.
Keep it going.
And just, bring some new stuff.
Some
to
New England
everyone.
joy.
Yeah. So did you have a good Mother's Day?
I did have a good Mother's Day. It was great weather here in Rhode Island, which was awesome.
So beautiful. We really needed that.
I forgot what they were saying. I think that, TJ Del Santo was saying that he had a number.
Yes.
The last 8 or
They've
so
been terrible.
Days it's been rain.
Yes.
He had all
and
the
yesterday was
research.
actually nice. So everyone was
beautiful.
like, thank goodness. But you got to see, if you saw the road show Friday,
right,
then you saw 4.
You got to see 4 of the
your
McClellan
5
kids. Yes.
But obviously you had to see 5.
I had to see all 5 for Mother's Day weekend. I had to. So there's my William right there. We drove up on Saturday morning.
You are so tiny next to your son.
They're so tall. I don't know where they came from.
Tall. When they came in on Friday, I was like, and I'm not short.
No.
But I had on flats or something. And I was like, oh my gosh, they are so tall.
So what happens when you marry someone who's 6'3"? But they could have gone either way. But I did. To your point, I wanted to see William.
Yeah.
So Saturday we drove up. We had dinner with him, an early dinner.
New Hampshire, right?
Went to New Hampshire.
Yep.
He's still in college till mid-June. And then we just drove home. And he kept apologizing the entire time we were there. He's such a good kid. He's like, Mom, I feel so bad. You guys get back. And I said, William, I would drive many hours to see you, even if it was just 30 seconds.
And you mean it.
I know I do mean it.
You
totally.
truly mean that.
So
she is the best mom.
Oh, I just love them. So it was just great to see him.
Good. I'm glad you got to do that.
And then yesterday, the other kids, they took care of me. They were great.
You had a little
relaxing
day.
It was great to be. Sometimes you just want to be alone and just
do
some fun stuff.
You don't want to be in charge of anything.
I want to be in charge of anything. Matt made dinner, so it was really it was just a perfect kind of chill day. Yeah. And what about you?
Oh, my day was great. Thank you. It was lovely. But I wanted to mention, I do the Saturday live shot for the 9 a.m. news broadcast that we have. And so we go to different places. And I just thought that this place was so great because they had a Mother's Day event.
They did have a Mother's Day event.
Over the weekend that people were invited to. This is the Kinney Azalea Gardens. So I had never been here. I don't know if you know
I've never been here.
This is in South Kingstown. It is absolutely stunningly gorgeous. They have acres of these beautiful flowers in bloom, and they're in bloom right now. They also have plants for sale.
I was just going to ask you that.
Property. So, but what it is it's free. You can go walk around. You can enjoy, take pictures, take video. The event that they were having later on that day, I was there in the morning. Later that day, they were having live artists to come in and paint.
Oh, no way. While they were there.
They had live music, and of course
gorgeous.
They were having a plant sale, and you could buy the art that was for sale. And it is just, I think it would be considered a hidden gem because I don't think a lot of people know about it, but it is in full bloom right now.
So how long does it stay in bloom for? Do you know?
I have absolutely no idea. I bet
I have no green thumb. I have no idea.
A week or two, honestly, because most of these spring blooms, they're so quick. Lilacs are in season right now.
Yes, which are beautiful.
I love lilacs.
Yes.
And they come in and out so quickly. So I would say go right now. I just thought it was stunningly beautiful. You don't need to do anything but just go and walk around. They ask they give you that.
Okay.
To make a donation because it is a nonprofit.
Right.
It has been in one family this entire time. This is
the Kinney family?
It's the Kinney Vale family, or the Vale Kinney family. I'm not sure the order, but same family for 4 generations.
Oh, that's
still the same
unbelievable.
family that runs it,
beautiful.
and now they're a nonprofit. It was beautiful. So
if
anyone's looking for somewhere, I feel like this time of year you're like, where can I go?
Where can I do a nice little weekend trip?
I would just go spend an afternoon there walking around, taking pictures. It was beautiful, and there's so much in South Kingstown once you're down there.
Yeah, South Kingstown is a gem.
Any number plate, you have to pass the farmer's daughter to get there, so you could make it a whole plant afternoon.
You could go to URI. Well, no, he's out of school right now.
I know. You're like, all I do is go to URI. You don't only have
to great to know that that's these little hidden
right
gems
down there,
right in our state.
So beautiful. So now is the time.
Now is the time. Yeah. Well, stay tuned because we have a gem with us too coming up next that we can't wait to just interview and chat with. So stick around, Spotlight New England, and we will be right back. All right, so our next guest, this is a really special treat for me. Salley Gibney. I got to meet Salley, my goodness, it was last year. She was one of the finalists for the Remarkable Women, and I got to interview her, and she just wears so many amazing hats. She's a mom, she's an entrepreneur, she's been on TV, she does podcasts, she's a grandmother. There's so many layers of Salley, but the one thing that I love was her message, I matter, you matter, and we're just so excited to have her with us today on Spotlight New England to share more about her passion, her life, and really how the message behind I Matter, You Matter really began. So Salley, thanks so much for being with us this morning.
Thank you for having me. This is so exciting. You two are absolutely fabulous.
Oh, you're so sweet. You're so sweet.
I can't
Thank
believe,
you for
and
saying
here I am, the first person here, right?
Yeah, well, you're one of the first. We just have started this brand new show, and Audrey was saying, you know, when we met you last year, it was part of our Remarkable Women thing that we do for Next Star.
Yeah.
And you were one of our finalists, and Audrey went and did the interview with you to get to know you better, and she came back immediately and just said how wonderful you were and immediately connected with you. So Audrey knew you had to be one of our first guests here.
Oh,
yeah,
well,
you really
so
are.
Special.
You're a true gem. And you know what? I'd love for you to just share truly, because I know you came today too with gifts for everybody. You're caring coins.
Yes.
Can you let us know and our viewers too, just like the story behind them? Because I know that it started, remember you telling me from a dream.
It did. It did. It was one night I had a dream. And in the dream, I was holding a little wooden coin with an angel and the message, you're never alone. And I woke up and I looked for the coin. I looked under the pillow, I looked on the floor, I looked all over and I couldn't find it. And I thought, what is going on? What is this? And I sat there and I thought about it and I thought, you're never alone. And I realized that I was feeling alone. Now, I had a husband, I had a family, I had friends, but I was feeling alone. And as I sat there, I thought, everyone feels alone at one time or another. You know, this is not unique. This is something that everyone feels. So I kind of let it go. And it kept coming back. You've got to do this. You've got to do this. And I thought, you know, what is this? So I have a really, really good friend who's an actor and an artist, and Ron Crawford. He's amazing. And I said, Ron, could you draw me an angel? And it has to be free-flowing. It's not religious. It's spiritual. So it has to be something. So he drew this little angel. Which
yes, we have your coins.
Yes.
Well, I will show that there are these little, the coins are, you know, like this, and you can't quite see the full image on it, but we have some videos of you giving them to other people. But so you went to your friend to make, and
he drew the angel, and then it had to be made in Vermont, had to be made of wood.
Yeah.
So I found a man up north who could burn the coins.
Oh my God.
Dexter. So my husband and I went up there, and I said to him, these are going to go around the world. And he looked at me like, she's totally crazy. This woman is crazy.
Yeah, there they are right there.
So he made 100, and they weren't consistent, but they got the point across. So I started sharing them. And first I put them on my mother's bed. She had Alzheimer's, and she was lost, and she didn't know us, and she was frightened. So I put one on each of her side rails of her bed, and every time she looked at it, she'd smile.
Oh.
So I thought, there's something to this.
Yeah.
So when she died, I gave them out at her funeral, and I thought, that's it.
Yeah.
But it kept coming back. So I found a man, because Dexter wasn't the guy to make these coins. His energy was just not with it.
Not what you wanted for the coins.
Not the energy. So I found a man who was a a stone worker. And he had this big warehouse, and I went in, and he had a laser machine. And I said, could you please make these coins? And he loved the message. His wife loved angels, so it was kind of a match made in heaven. So he made these coins, and I started giving them out randomly. And each time, people would say, like the lady at the motor vehicle place, oh, I needed to hear that today. So then I heard of 650 Vermonters going to Mississippi to train to go to Iraq. And I thought, oh, my gosh, what if we could get coins to them? So I called the commanding officer, and I said, can I talk to you? He said, lady, if you can see me, you can get, find me, you can see me. So I asked him, and he said, this is great. So we got coins to the troops. And I got all these emails that they were wearing them with their dog tags.
Oh my gosh,
and that it
really?
meant so much to them because they were wood and they were made in Vermont.
Yeah. Now, why the made in Vermont? Why was that
Because I
important
was
to you?
living in Vermont.
Okay.
In the dream, they had to be made in Vermont.
Okay.
Wow.
And they had to be made of wood. So then I kept handing them out, and I was a nurse, and I had friends who were nurses, and they'd share them. But then Katrina happened, and I thought, oh my gosh, what if we got coins to the survivors? So it's a very long story, but people shared, and they signed little cards that we attached to the coins. 4,000 went to New Orleans, and I brought 3,000 to Houston.
Wow.
And went to Houston and just went into these huge places where there were, a super Walmart that was cleared out and people going in. And I just go up to them and say, I'm Sally from Vermont. People in Vermont want you to know we care about you. Can I put this around your neck? And they said, yes. And I said, can I give you a hug? And they all hugged back. And it was amazing. So when I came back, people in Vermont said they wanted to join me in this. They wanted to share the message that I matter. And so that's how it took off.
Wow.
So we had a foundation and started going into schools. And when we went into schools, we couldn't bring the angels. So I drew these two little guys reaching out to each other.
Yeah.
And we had a program, a positive approach to bullying. I matter, you matter. Let's start the conversation. So over 100,000 have gone around the world.
Can you believe that?
That's
100,000 of them.
Yeah. Well, I was asked to go to Bangladesh to share coins in Bangladesh. And I thought, Bangladesh?
Wow.
Got to be kidding me. But again, we got it all together and brought them to Bangladesh, and it was amazing. They've been going all over.
They really have the world.
Yes, and I brought them to Mexico to the immigrants on the border. My nephew's mother-in-law had started a program there to bring water to the immigrants. And so I asked her if I could come and share the coins, and so we did. So they've gone all around the world, and it's the message, I matter, you matter, is so important today.
And let's talk more about that, because I think that, it's always an important message, but it does seem like right now, especially, so much going on in the world, but also with social media, you think sometimes it brings people together, but sometimes it makes people more isolated. So talk more about that.
It really does. And the message, today this is like a straight line dividing us. And there's so much going on.
Yeah.
But I believe that a straight line can become a circle and bring us together. So the coins are really a message of that we all matter. And we have so much common ground. There's so many places where we can come together. And if we can find that common ground and start there, and then chip away at the other stuff. But the fact that everyone matters, I hand them out everywhere.
I was just going to say this.
Do you just always have them on you?
I have them with me.
Grocery store.
She said the grocery store, right?
Yeah.
You give them to people that are behind you or the cashier.
I was at Dave's one day, and so I, of course, talked to the cashier, and I was talking to the person behind. That was really interesting. I gave a coin to the man, asked him his name, and gave him a coin, and he looked at me, and he said, is your name Sally? And I said, yes. And he said, my wife's mother just died, and her name was Sally. He said, my wife is going to love this.
Oh, my goodness.
So it's amazing.
So you find people almost like, it's like the universe or angels kind of finding the right people that need that message at that time.
And it's people, they're connections. That, I was getting my COVID shot, and I was sitting there waiting, and there was a man, it was right near the greeting card stand, and this man and this little boy are looking at cards, and they're just smiling at each other, and I thought, oh, they're so cute. So I went over to him and I said, hi, I'm Sally, what's your name? And he told me, and I said, I would love to share something with you. And so I gave him a coin, and he said, I have one of these coins.
What?
Oh my gosh.
I said, you're kidding. He said, no, I have one of these coins. I said, where did you get it? He said, Green Mountain College in Vermont. I said, I was there a lot. And I said, I shared coins. They signed cards that I brought to Bangladesh. And he said, I signed one of those cards.
That's incredible.
And these are the kinds of things that happen. So but it's so important today. And kids really get it. And they really love it.
Do kids really get it? I feel like that,
I speak in a lot of schools. And, we talk about how they're unrepeatable. There's no one like them. No one in the world is just like them.
Yeah.
And they really get it. And when you start sharing about this, and then the kids start sharing back. And it's amazing how responsive they are to it. My youngest grandson is 4, and he goes, Grammy, I met her, you met her. I said, yes, Ray. That's true, Ray.
I wish we had a million Sallys.
Oh, but his friend in school, it was his birthday, so he wrapped a coin to bring to his friend.
How sweet.
So, even the little ones, and,
they almost get it more than anyone.
They do, because they're not so overloaded.
Right.
They're so natural.
It's basic. It's a basic thing.
It really is. And I think today we need it so badly. Everyone is so stressed.
Yeah.
And it's just a really, really important message. And as I say, and people respond. Rarely do I ever get someone who says no.
Yeah.
And that's fine.
Yeah.
It's not personal.
Right,
It's
of
just
course.
a matter
Yeah,
of
some
just at
people
that
are just
moment.
they're not
want it
there
or they
yet.
don't.
They're
Exactly.
not there yet.
Exactly. And that's
What does it feel like for you, when you are giving these things out and seeing the reaction, and you've now been doing this for a while.
very long time.
Yeah. To see it all kind of going the way that you envisioned in your dream.
Well, we're geared for caring. We're wired for caring. Those endorphins that we get, so it's inside of us.
Yeah.
So, and when you do something, when you share something, or the way you both are, I mean, you two are so wonderful, and you are so good with people, and you really bring out the best in all of us.
That's sweet.
And so you must feel good when you do that. And you can feel like, this is important.
Yeah.
And I think it's why we're all here, is to kind of make a difference.
Yeah.
And to reach out to each other. And there's so many ways that we can do it, and today there's such a need, and things.
There is such a need.
People are so stressed. I just did a show on hunger in Rhode Island.
Oh, yeah.
And did you know 1 in 7 children in Rhode Island are hungry?
Really?
1 in 7. Wow. Over 20,000 children in Rhode Island go to school hungry. And things are being cut in. There's so much that we can do in so many different ways to make a difference. And because, we're all in this together.
Yeah. We really are.
We really are. And I think as we reach out to each other, and the little coins, and sometimes if I run out of coins, I take them off my neck.
I was going to say, you always wear one as well,
She
right?
always has one.
Yeah.
She always has one.
And I'll take them off and I'll give them to them. And people will say, "Oh no, they should." "Oh no, I've got
You're like,
less
it's
more."
okay, it's all right. This is for you.
I just ordered another 4,000.
Tell me this, Sally, because you were a finalist for the Next Star Remarkable
how that
Women.
ever happened, I don't know.
I think it's pretty obvious listening to you.
Absolutely. Tell me, what did that feel like for you? Because I will say you are also so humble, and every time you get to chat with people that know you, and the people that wrote in, a lot of them said the same thing: is that she always takes it off herself and puts it right back on somebody else, just to highlight them. But what did it feel like for you personally to know that so many people wrote in about you, but not only that, you were a finalist because you really do good?
I didn't know how it happened. When I got the phone, I got the phone call, and I was in the car, and I answered the phone, and this person said, this is so-and-so, and I want to tell you you're one of the 4 finalists in Remarkable Women in Rhode Island. I said, "You've got to be kidding."
You're like, who is this?
I said, "Who put you up to this? This is a joke." And they said, no, it's true. And I thought, there are so many remarkable women. Women are fabulous, and women do so much, and they have so many things that they're doing all at once, and today even more so than ever.
Yeah.
And, I'm like, I'm handing out wooden coins, but the other finalists were spectacular.
See what she does too, she's so incredible.
A difference not only by your mindset, by also giving something tangible to people
Yeah.
that they can hold and remember, and whether it's in their purse or their car or wherever they might keep it, and they might look at it in the middle of a day that's maybe not going their way and think, no, let me take a moment here. That's I matter.
And I take no credit for this. I can't, because it was a dream. I never could.
It's your dream.
But I couldn't come up. How could I? I could never come up with a wooden coin with an angel and the message "You're never alone." Really,
it's beautiful.
And one thing that I like to share with people is that if you have a dream or you have something that's in there, let it out and don't worry about it. I never worry when I give them out, because it's. And if someone doesn't want it, that's fine.
It's for them
not
to
personal.
receive however they
it's
need
totally,
to receive it.
It's not about me. It's about the message. And the message, it's just so important. I really, really believe it. And I love people. And people are so much fun. And I gave one to a police officer. I was coming out from getting my COVID shot, and he was in his car. And there was a lot of construction going on. And I walked out, and I thought, oh, I have no idea where I parked my
Yeah.
car. I have no clue. And so I went over to him and I said, "Officer, can you help me?" I said, I don't know where I parked my car.
Yeah.
And he said, "Well, there's construction, so everybody's going through
Yeah.
that." And he said, "You probably came in the other door, so
Oh,
it's probably
okay.
around there." So I said, "Oh, you're so nice." And I said, "I want to share something with you." And I gave him a coin. And this young man, everybody's young, he looked at it and he turned it over. And tears came to his eyes. And he said to me, "You don't know how I need this today." And
I have chills.
it's
Really,
really,
yeah.
And that's, and I think it's really the message. Mm-hmm. And like as I say, you girls are girls, and you are girls.
Thank you. I'll take it. I'll take it.
Girl. Take it.
You lovely ladies. But you do it all the time. And what you do, it means so much. People are waiting to hear you, to see you. And it makes such a difference in lives. And never underestimate what you do, because you
Thank
do.
you.
You make a huge
Thank
difference.
you.
Do you
Thank
see
you
why
for-
I fell in love with
I
her?
know. I know. Thank you for joining us today.
Oh, but
as
this is
well,
so
and
much fun.
Sharing your story.
Well,
It
thank
just really is
you.
so uplifting.
Well, now I have
We're
a new
honored.
friend.
yes, absolutely.
Exactly. The
Two new
the
friends.
three besties,
Two new
right?
friends.
Everybody over here.
Yeah.
Sally, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Oh,
And
thank you for having
We
me.
loved
and
having
thank
you.
you for sharing the message.
Absolutely.
And
all
if
the
anyone
time.
wants to see the story, they can go to the website.
And yeah, absolutely.
and
Definitely.
see the story.
Ugh, you're
But
the
this has been
best.
so much fun.
Oh.
And it's beautiful here. I love it.
It's beautiful.
Our new studio.
And we have more coming, so make sure you stay tuned on Spotlight New England.
Welcome back to Spotlight New England. It's graduation season.
It is.
So, a lot of people, there's colleges, there's high schools.
Oh, yes.
But some of these colleges and universities get really big people.
some great people.
To give these amazing speeches at them. So, recently, this weekend, Jennifer Coolidge actually was one of the
Love
people
her.
speaking. So, let's take a quick listen.
Psych yourself up into believing absurd possibilities, and you have to believe that they are not absurd.
I loved the
Absurd
message there. That was
possibilities.
obviously, you can, go online and watch her full speech, but I loved that takeaway because, it speaks to a lot of things that you and I talk about a lot,
All the time.
which is like, let's just try it. Let's just go for it. And, let's see what happens. Because
Yeah.
if you're not doing that for yourself, who else is really going to do that for you?
No, it's true. And it really is. It's something I'm trying to teach, my kids, obviously right now, even my son, who's a sophomore in college, well, he's even like looking for jobs and like thinking in the future. And like exactly that, like dream big.
Yeah.
Like dream big. And if you look at all like the most successful people in the world, they all dreamt really big and they went for it. I mean, I always try to say to him, like, the end of the day, everybody is just a human.
Yeah.
So everybody has to at some point just take that risk, take that jump, like look fear in the face and go for it.
Yeah.
So, but I love Jennifer Coolidge.
Yeah, well, she's on a couple of things that we love.
We are obsessed with
Legally
her.
Blonde, White Lotus. I mean, a
Oh, that's right. White
million
Lotus. I
other.
forgot about
oh
that.
my gosh.
I have not like.
I know
actually
because you
gotten in too
started
deep
watching
yet. Yes.
and then you didn't. I'm sure you didn't. Pick
I
up.
love it.
Like you need to catch up. But I just, I liked what she said there, and it's always fun this time of year to see what celebrities or
Oh, yeah.
important people are going around and making these speeches because they have knowledge to share. They've been through
They
it.
do.
And it's always, kind of a nice time of year to like remind yourself like
Yes.
to dream big and go for it. I don't remember who said it, but somebody said something along the lines of like, you have to be like a little delusional.
Yes. Oh, we just saw this recently.
Who was it said?
Somebody was
Anyway, I
saying this.
love that
You're right.
because I really feel like I relate to that. Like you just have to be a little bit like
Yeah,
on
these
the
are
crazy point
delusional.
of like
to go for it.
like I can do this no problem.
Yes.
Even if it's gonna be a problem.
was
you
it? It's
kinda
gonna
just
drive
have
me
to-
crazy.
I know, I'm not gonna remember.
Who was the guy that did the movie Top Gun? We thought he was dating like
Tom
Sydney-
Cruise?
No, he's the younger one. What was
Oh, see, I don't know the younger actors.
okay, like he was kind of dating like Sydney Sweeney. Ugh, I forget
There's
who-
like 4 people that have kind
and
of
I can't believe
dated
I'm
Sydney
forgetting his name, but he was an actor and he
Mm.
just spoke at a graduation recently. And he even said, he goes, you just got to take risks. He's like,
Yeah.
I tried out for the role of in Top Gun,
Yeah.
the remake. He didn't get the role he wanted. So he got this other role. He
Yeah.
goes, and look at how that worked out
Yeah.
for me.
And it worked
so,
out so well.
go for it. Dream big, be wild,
Be delusional.
delusional.
Just like we are. Thank you so much for joining us today on Spotlight New England. We will see you next time.